Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Daniel Roman here for winteriscoming.net, and I am so excited today to be here with Isabella Bucceri, who plays Faile Bashere in The Wheel of Time. Isabella, how's it going?
Hi, Daniel. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing really, really well. I'm really excited to talk to you.
Me
So
too.
there is episode 7 of The Wheel of Time. Obviously, need to talk about that because it's a huge episode for the series. Um, with probably the biggest like battle scene that the show has had. Um,
Mm.
you had a lot of fighting in that episode. What was your preparation for both the episode and this role like?
Yeah, I think for the episode, yeah, that was we were in the gym every day for, over an hour trying to perfect that. I think I really wanted to I kind of wanted to really dive into the fight training because Fail is a character that has a military background, but she also doesn't have any powers, so she really does kind of rely on those skills. And I think, yeah, coming into uh, I mean, the season knowing how skilled she was, especially with the knives. Um, I I I was intimidated in a sense, but I was also really excited for the challenge. So I think, yeah, prepping was definitely a lot of um, working with the stunt team, trusting them, and they're incredible. They really got into the details of the character and how she moves and even some of the knife tricks, just everything. Was really exciting to play because I think as an actor, the physicality really informs a lot. Um, and yeah, those battle scenes for me were re like by the end of it, I mean, you kind of go into the gym in the first day and you're like terrified, and you see all these stunties just flipping over each other, and you're like, how? Just yeah, completely blown away. And then, as you do it every day, you start to surprise yourself in that way where you do kind of fall into a rhythm, and by the end of it, I was just so excited to dive into those last battle scenes. They were chaos, but in the best way.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
yeah.
awesome. They came out so well. So you also had a lot of like quieter scenes too. What is so beyond the fight scenes, and maybe the fight scenes is the answer to this, but like what's an aspect of Fail that you particularly loved playing this season?
I think for me, it was her kind of like just I mean, two things in a way. I think her loyalty, but that kind of informed how she just kind of dived into things. There was no second guessing. It was just like, yep, I have a gut feeling. There's some instincts, there's some impulses. I'm going for it.
Yeah.
And I think me personally would love to inhabit a bit more of that, where it's just going for it and not wanting to be overlooked in any way, not allowing that to happen, and just following her feelings in a way, just
Yeah.
following that whatever's drawing her in is just going for it. I think that was the most exciting thing to play about the character.
Cool. Cool. And so I wasn't planning on asking you this, but like hearing you talk, this is so interesting to me because Fail has a really like distinct accent and like way of speaking that like it really draws you in when she's talking. Like, were there any inspirations or like, can you talk about developing that at all?
Yeah, I think I auditioned in the accent, and it
Oh,
kind of
cool.
just it felt I mean, I did two types of auditions. I did one in my natural and one in the accent that I chose for Fayul, and it just didn't feel right to do it in a natural accent. I felt that the character really came out for me through the accent, and working with the dialect coaches, it really um brought her to life in a way. I think she has
Yeah.
this really kind of slow but intense way of speaking that does draw you in, and you kind of really listen to her.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was fun to explore.
Cool. Um, so one thing I did want to ask about, obviously, Fael and Perrin have like a budding romance this season. It's a
Mhm.
really important romance, like in the overall series. When we last see them, though, Perrin has kind of made this decision to not go his separate way, but he surrenders to the White Cloaks. So this is a two-part question. The first part is, do you think Perrin made the right choice to surrender? And now that he's been taken by the White Cloaks, what do you think Faile will do to get him back?
Yeah, I think initially she's protective over his decision, like she's protective over him. So I think she doesn't agree with the decision, and she's quite almost frustrated by it. But I think once he speaks to her, you kind of see this kind of almost like him throwing her words in her face, and she kind of has to accept it, and maybe she does, deep down she admires it quite a lot because it is such a brave thing to do, and she is a brave person, and she sees that,
Yeah.
and yeah she just sees that, she admires it, I think, but it's frustrating, I think. They create this budding romance, and it's just
Yeah.
um, but and the second question was,
What do you think she will do next,
I
basically?
don't know. I'm not sure. I genuinely have no clue, but I think I would like to see her um maybe form some relationships with other characters, maybe Bane and Chiad, and kind of, yeah, maybe trying to, I guess, get him back in a way, and I don't know. I have no clue. This is just my theories, but yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting how she navigates it all now.
Yeah. I know I'm looking forward to seeing it. They're made some interesting choices, so I can't wait to see more. And
Mm,
kind of tying into that, like there are a lot of people rooting for you all to get a fourth season. Um,
mm,
if you do, what is an aspect of is there any part of Fail or her storyline or just for yourself as an actress, anything you'd like to explore more with the character if you get that opportunity?
mm. Yeah, I think maybe, I guess I'd like to see more about where she's come from.
Yeah.
With that Saldaean culture, I'd like to see, hopefully we get to see some of that coming in. That would be really exciting as an actor to kind of go to the backstory, into the whys, and how she's been raised, and the things she kind of, yeah, has been through. So I think that'll be the most kind of interesting way of going about her next little arc.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm hoping we get more of Fael's backstory too, and more of that culture. So I think we've got time for like one more quick question. So, what was your most memorable day on the set of The Wheel of Time?
Mm. I think it would be the those 'cause it was our last few days of shooting those battle scenes in episode 7. I think they were magical to just be involved in. It was just everyone was kind of committing, like, just to a new level, and everyone was just together in this kind of chaos and madness that just flowed so beautifully together. I think that was definitely my favorite day of shooting on set, because yeah, it was kind of bringing everything together, bringing everyone together, and you see how everyone's own, I guess, training or you know experience with their characters come together, and it all works, and you just go, oh, that's what they were training for, and it was just so incredible to watch.
Oh, that's awesome. That must have been so cool. Um,
Um,
Isabella, thank you so much for taking the time for this. It's been such a pleasure to talk to you.
thank you for speaking to me.
Yeah, of course. And congratulations on The Wheel of Time season 3.